Hey, what's up guys? This is DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a updated version of my Lightsworns. Now, this is actually the 40 card variant of Lightsworns. I actually really like the 40 card variant opposed to the 60 card variant. Now, you can play a 60 card variant if you want to. And I know a lot of people do, but I just really like the 40 card kind of pure, and it's not. Lightsworns are never pure. There are all sorts of weird stuff thrown in there. And I have a bunch of different tech cards and for suggestions for you guys, but before we get straight on into this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check in the description down there below, and I have my Patreon account, and tell me what you think of this deck profile. It's really fun, a lot of fun deck. I really quickly want to give one quick shout out before we get into this to JD. I really appreciate it, guy. You know, you're always kind of like the Lightsworn guy that I run to. But anyways, guys, or anytime I see Lightsworns, I think of you, JD, because of Judgment Dragon. So, anyways, guys, let's get straight onto this with the new support of Curious the Lightsworn Dominion. So, first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Judgment Dragon. It's not Lightsworn. If you're not playing 3 copies of Judgment Dragon, you're not doing it right. You have to have 4 Lightsworn monsters in your graveyard with different names to special summon this card from your hand. Then you pay 1,000 life points to destroy all other cards on the field, which is amazing. I'm playing 2 copies of Wolf because if you mill it, you get to special summon it, which is crazy. 1 copy of Garroth, he's kind of just there for the name, to have an extra Lightsworn monster name. 1 copy of Jane, he's kind of there for the same reason of just having an extra name. 3 copies of Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn. Raiden is very essential to this deck. It's very important to have Raiden in the deck, because during your main phase, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and he's a tuner monster, and then he gains 200 attack for each Lightsworn monster that were sent to the graveyard by his effect, times 200. The other very important thing about Raiden is during the end phase, you can send 2 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard as well as a cost, which is really good, and he really helps out a lot for milling. Then I played 2 copies of Lila, Lightsworn Sorcerer, or Sorceress. She's really good. You can switch her to defense position to destroy a spell or trap card on the field. Really helpful for the deck. Really enjoy her. If she's in defense, or you can switch her to defense position by getting the spell or trap, and then during the end phase, you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave. 1 copy of Erin. She's mostly there for the name. The other thing that's important about Erin is you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard during the end phase. And the other effect of Erin is that if she battles a defense position monster, you can shuffle that monster into the deck, which is kind of helpful for stuff like if your opponent puts out, like, I don't know, Beals in defense or something, you can just shuffle it into the deck, which is nice. Then I play 2 copies of Felice. The reason I'm only playing 2 Felice and 2 Wolf is because it's the 40 card variant and I don't want to clog that much with those. So that's why I'm playing 2 and 2 instead of 3 and 3. And she cannot be normal summoned or set, but she must be special summoned by a card effect. And if she is special summoned from the deck by a monster effect, or she's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon her from the graveyard, and you can tribute her, then send the top 3 cards from your deck to the graveyard, and then you destroy a monster your opponent controls, which is nice. Then for the last 3 Lightsworn monsters, I play 3 copies of Lumina. Lumina is really good in the deck. She's kind of like Monster Reborn. You discard a card from your hand, and then you special summon a level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster from your graveyard. Also, at the end phase, you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave. So that's it for the Lightsworn monsters. Pretty self-explanatory. You're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names in the deck, and then we're playing technically 3 in the extra deck, so we have a total of 11 names running around, which you're going to get the names you need in the graveyard pretty quickly. So that's it for the Lightsworns. Let's get into some of the tech monster cards. This deck profile is going to be a little different because we're not playing any traps in this deck. This is the trapless version, which is normal for Lightsworns. So first off, we're going to play 1 copy of Giant Rex, because of Fairy Tale Snow. By being able to banish this and special summon it just about every single turn is crazy. Giant Rex, when it's banished, you can activate its effect once per turn to special summon it from the banish zone, which is nice. So it gets you instant level 4 monster, and you want to get a bunch of level 4 monsters on the field because it lets you special summon out Minerva, and Minerva is really good in the deck. 3 copies of Fairy Tale Snow. Fairy Tale Snow is crazy. If she's normal or special summoned, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position, so she's a Book of Moon. And then during either player's turn, if she's in your graveyard, you can banish 7 other cards from your graveyard, from your hand, field, or grave, and then you get to special summon her, which is nuts. So that's why we play Giant Rex, is because he just floats all over the place with her. Another card that really corresponds with Fairy Tale Snow is Eclipse Wyvern. Eclipse Wyvern, if he's sent to the graveyard, you can banish a level 7 or higher light or dark dragon from your deck. And if if Eclipse Wyvern gets banished from the grave, you get to add it to your hand. So it makes Judgment Dragon searchable, which is really, really nice. Then we play one copy of Blackwing Zapdos the Elite. Zapdos the Elite is really, really helpful in this deck because if it's in the graveyard, you can return a card you control to the hand and then take 400 damage, and then after you take your 400 damage, you get special summon from the grave, so it gives you another level 4. This deck revolves around special summoning monsters. Then we play one copy of Trick Clown. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Perform Mage from your graveyard, which is nice. Which is really, really good, and then he becomes 0 attack and 0 defense, but we don't really care because we're either going to link with him or we're going to overlay with him. Then we play 3 copies of Goblinberg. Goblinberg lets us summon out another level 4, and we play majority of everything in the deck is level 4, so that's why we're playing 3 copies of it. And I think the only other monster that's not level 4 is Lumina, Aaron, and Judgment Dragon, I think, off the top of my head, and maybe one other tech card that I'm playing that I should get to. But when it's normal summon, you switch it to defense, and then you get special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand, so it doesn't really matter about them being lower. You can still link with them, which is nice. So that's what we're playing for Goblinberg. Then I'm playing one copy of Thousand Blades because it special summons itself back from the graveyard. 2 copies of Honest just for that, because a lot of the stuff is light monsters, and I really only find that I need 2. I don't ever really find myself needing more than 2 in this deck. And then for the final card, I play 1 copy of Glow Up Bulb because I really like going for Trish, and it's easy, and it lets you mill a card off the top of your deck, I believe. Yeah. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send the top card of your deck to the grave, and if you do, special summon this card. So if I have 2 level 4s in this, I can go instantly for Trishula, which is nice. But that's it for the tech monster cards for Lightsworns. Pretty good. I like this lineup a lot. The only thing I might do is bump up Eclipse Wyvern, maybe by 1 to banish more stuff, but I feel like he's fine where he's at. I really like the Glow Up Bulb. I don't see a lot of people playing a Glow Up Bulb in this deck, but they need to. It's really, really helpful. Then for the spells, it's not that many. I play 2 copies of Monster Reincarnation because I might mill my JD and I can discard a card and then add it back to my hand, or I can add my Lumina back or something like that to get off some more plays. So Monster Incarnation to me is a must of 2 of in this deck. 3 charge of the Light Brigades because you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave to add any Lightsworn monster from your deck to the hand, which is level 4 or lower. But everything we play is level 4 or lower, so we're not really worried about that. Cannot emphasize how much of a play starter this is besides Soul Recharge or Solar Recharge. Solar Recharge is a essential play starter of the deck too. You discard any Lightsworn monster, then draw 2 cards, and then send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave. Really, really, really good card. But that's it for the main deck. Let's get straight on into that extra deck. It's pretty easy to put this deck together, too. It's pretty cheap. Really quick, shout out to Cody, too. Cody, I really appreciate you helping me hollow this out with the BLLR stuff or Battles of Legend stuff. Helping me hollow out that core. That's actually the core that you traded me, dude. So, anyways, let's get straight into the extra deck. So I'm playing 2 copies of Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion, and this card is crazy. You have to kind of read this. It takes 3 monsters with the same attribute, but different types, so that's really easy to do in Lightsworns. But if it's face up on the field, it's destroyed by battle or leaves the field by an opponent's card effect. While its owner controls it, you can target 1 card in your graveyard and add it to your hand, which is crazy. And you can only use the following effect of Curious Lightsworn Dominion once per turn. You can either send 1 card from your deck to the graveyard so it mills something, or just instantly Foolish Burial something, or if a card is sent from your deck to the graveyard by a card effect, you send the additional 3 cards from the top of your deck once per turn, which is nuts. This card is crazy good in Lightsworns because you can just make like a wolf, a Lumina, and then summon back a Raiden, use Raiden's effect, mill 2, then link them all together, make the Dominion, and then send an Eclipse Wyvern or a Fairy Tale Snow, which one you don't have in the grave, and then it gets crazy. There's plays for days with this. Then I play a Sayujin. I still don't have one. I'm still proxying this one, but Sayujin. And then I'm playing 1 copy of Borolo Dragon. It is so easy to get Ling materials in this deck. It is nuts how easy it is. But these are the only Ling monsters I'm playing because it's the only ones I feel like I really need. If you guys have any suggestions on any of the extra deck, this is just my personal preference. This is what I found that I've been going into a lot, so this is what I put in. 1 copy of Trishula. Trishula is really fun in the deck because you can make it with Glow Bulb really easily. 1 Cyframe Lord Omega. I feel like it's a must-have in Lightsworns to play a Cyframe Lord Omega because it's so easy to go into, and it gets it out of your extra monster zone because you're going to be making a lot of cards in this deck. I played 2 copies of Michael Arclight of Lightsworn. He's really important for the deck, and he's level 7, so he's really easy to go into with your Lumina Raiden. And then you can pay 1,000 life points to target a card on the field and banish it, which is nice. So he's spot removal too. He also mills 4, which is nice, and if he's destroyed, I think it's if he's destroyed by battle over a card effect. When this card is destroyed, you can target any number of other Lightsworn monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then if you do, you gain 300 life points, because sometimes you're going to be down on the dumps with your life points, and he'll just bring you back up. 1 copy of Black Rose Dragon, just for that board wipe. That pretty ultimate rare one. Just gorgeous. Speaking of ultimate rares, that 1 copy of Ancient Sacred Wyvern. Not a lot of people play this, and I don't know why they don't play this at 1, because you can just go... You can make this just as easily as you make Michael with Raiden and Lumina. And for the difference in your life points and your opponent's life points, it gains attack, which is nuts. If your life points are higher than your opponent. So I don't know why people don't play this, because if you knock your opponent down quite a couple of notches in the game early, especially with JD, and you make this, and then you swing at them, this thing can get crazily big. Really big. Then I play 2 copies of Minerva, because Minerva's bae. You can detach a material from her, send the top 3 cards of your deck to graveyard, then draw cards equal the number of Lightsworn monsters sent to the graveyard by this effect. And if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can send an additional 3 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Then you can destroy cards on the field up to the number of Lightsworn monsters sent to the graveyard by this card effect, which is nuts. It's just really good. I really love Minerva, but you really don't need more than 2 of her. You may make the second one in the game. Usually you only make 1. I sometimes make 2. Usually, yeah, sometimes a lot of times I make 2. 1 Castel. Castel is really good in the deck. He just bounces stuff. Tornado Dragon just to pop the back row. And Baguska because it's Baguska. But that's it, guys. That's it for the Lightsworn deck. I really enjoyed building this deck. It's a lot of fun. Really was curious. I'm glad I'm getting to use some of the imports. I'm really looking forward to Needle Fiber. Needle Fiber is going to be crazy. It's going to make so many of my deck profiles new. But anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this deck profile down in the description or down in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my Patreon and like, comment, subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.